Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Movie Star Monday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Super well. I'm happy because I'm here with my beautiful bride, which I always like. But I always want to make sure I say that because when I call you, I say, hey, baby. If I don't let people know you're my wife, if there's some new listener, they're like, that guy is not a very nice man.
There's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yeah, no, she's my wife. I love her very much. So, but I'm also super excited about the interview for today. It's another Movie Star Monday. Today, we're going to visit with a young lady from England. So she's an actress from London. Her name is Mia Mills, and she's in a movie called Do Something Jake. Now, Friday, we actually talked to the writer of this movie. This is a movie that's being done on a zero budget. So it's not a low-budget movie. It is a no-budget movie. And the only way these guys are ever going to get paid is if the movie actually does well. So imagine, like the movie I Can Only Imagine, if all of the people who did that, if they would have said, hey, I'm going to just get a commission paid based on what it makes, and it's made $80 million, imagine how much those people would be getting.
Right.
I mean, they'd be making a lot. So Mia Mills, and we've got another gentleman we're going to talk to in a few weeks from the project as well. Just some really neat people, and it's a cool project, and they're really awesome folks. So Mia Mills coming up later in the show. I got a quote here from Mary Tyler Moore. You know who that is?
I do.
She says, take chances, make mistakes, that's how you grow. Pain nourishes your courage. You have to fail in order to practice being brave. Mary Tyler Moore. Great little quote right
Agreed.
here on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Monday, April the 30th. Today is the final day of April. Tomorrow is May Day. Holy cow. How did that happen?
I know. I love May Day.
Me too. This month went fast. But today is National Bubble Tea Day. Bubble tea? T-E-A? Bubble tea? Have you ever had bubble tea?
I have not.
Going to have to check into that. National Military Brats Day. I bet it's Military Brats Day. I've never heard of a military brat.
Me either.
It's spelled the same. I'm gonna go order a military brat today and see if I get one. National Prepare-a-thon Day, which I should have prepared a little more. National Adopt a Sheltered Pet Day today. National Bugs Bunny Day. National Hairstylist Appreciation Day. National Honesty Day. National Oatmeal Cookie Day. National Raisin Day. You know, those two things go together well.
I do. I love oatmeal
Yeah.
raisin cookies.
And National Scariososis Day. I don't know what that is.
All right. Anyway.
So all those things. I'm trying to figure out what that is. Anyway, a lot of different things happening on this Monday, the 30th day of April.
John and Heidi.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-818-3967. 800-818-3967. That's 800-818-3967. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
John and Heidi.
Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs. But first, a Colorado state survey found 69% of marijuana users have driven under the influence in the past year. 27% admitted to driving, quote, high almost daily.
Yeah,
And that is not a good idea.
Not good.
Anything that impairs your judgment is not something you should do before you're operating a motor vehicle. And I just think it's a really sad thing that they're admitting. 69% said, yeah, I've done that in the last year.
Yeah, and if that's just the ones that are admitting
And
it.
27% said, I do that every day.
Yeah.
That's almost a third. That's 27%.
That's
It's more than a quarter.
Really, really scary.
And it's creeping up to a third. That's a lot. I've got a link to the story if you want to know all the details on that. And those details can be found in our show notes blog at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter.
If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. A Connecticut school bus driver was busted for allegedly using his vehicle to deliver and pick up bags of heroin after dropping the kids off at the end of the school day.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, bad idea. Stratford police arrested 29-year-old Garfield Howell. Let's pause for a second. I love the name Garfield, and most people would never name their child Garfield because of the cat or for whatever reason. But I think that's a cool name.
Yeah, I would have never let you name our child.
No, I'm not saying that we should, but I just think it's a cool name. So if you happen to be a Garfield, awesome name. So this 29-year-old Garfield, following month-long investigation, surveillance footage showed him doing it. He worked for We Transport, charter bus company, transport students in the Bridgeport Public School District. All the transactions were made after the kids were out of the bus, but that still doesn't make it a whole lot better. Police arrested Howell at his home in Stratford. They seized 195 grams of heroin. I don't know how much that is. It sounds like a lot to me, but that could be, who knows, hardly any. Howell has been charged with a sale of narcotics, conspiracy to sell narcotics, and risk of injury to a minor. Because just imagine if even just a residue from that would have gotten on something. So that's where it's a bad idea, period. But when you're taking a school bus to do it, it's a really bad idea.
I suppose he probably thought it, wouldn't really
great
stand
cover.
out.
It's really going to stand. You're driving a school bus to a drug house. Not a good plan. But it is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, Macaulay Culkin. Absolutely, positively adorable young boy who was in a bunch of great movies back in the 80s and 90s. And then now he's got a band. Did you know that? I
did.
So he's got a band.
Something Pizza, right?
I don't remember what it's called. But it's Macaulay Culkin in the news here. He actually talked to Ellen DeGeneres on her show.
Okay.
Her show is just called Ellen.
Yes.
Our show is just John and Heidi.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, we're right up there with Ellen. I mean, maybe not. Anyway, Macaulay told Ellen that due to rabid Home Alone fans, he tries to avoid leaving the house around Christmas time.
I don't blame him.
But here's my question. Wouldn't that be a year-round thing?
Oh, yeah, of course. But I
So-
would think that at Christmas time, it's even worse. They'd probably be throwing stuff at him.
I just don't understand.
Trying to catch him in booby traps, dropping marbles down in front of him on the sidewalk.
Smack you in the face with a paint can, kid. How's it feel? I can't even leave the house. He was Kevin McAllister on Home Alone. So for those of you who don't know why that's so funny, that's why he was.
If I was a celebrity like that, I would never leave the house at all.
You don't
I would
leave
be
the
a
house now.
shut-in.
What are you talking about?
I know. I barely leave now.
And
Can
when
you
you
imagine
do-
what it would be like if people recognized me?
When you do, you wear a giant dinosaur costume. So, I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. And one last thing, from big screen, little screen, Martha Stewart joined the hit food show Chopped as a recurring judge. So there you go. And she's got like the greatest, if she doesn't like the food, she can say, this tastes like prison food. I've been waiting to say that. This has been Big Screen, Little Screen. I actually like Martha Stewart. I think she's pretty cool. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Now, your scoop of the day, courtesy of 49bydesign.com. Germany is trying to deport Osama bin Laden's bodyguard. They learned that he receives $1,400 a month in welfare benefits as a refugee, and he fled to their country. I've got a link to the story if you want to read all about that. That would be one of those things where you're like, wait a minute, why are we helping this guy? Match.com apologized. Oh, this story. I can't wait to see what Heidi thinks about this.
Okay.
Match.com apologized after accidentally, I'm going to do air quotes on that, oops, accidentally reactivating the accounts of thousands of users who quit their service. People who closed their accounts 10 years ago were suddenly getting notifications on their phones of people checking out their profile.
And getting bills?
Well, I don't know about getting bills, but I'm saying, what would you think if your spouse had a Match.com account at one point, all of a sudden starts getting notifications? This would cause a major marital problem.
Absolutely.
And they're trying to say, I didn't open the account. I had one 10 years ago. But Match.com is now apologizing. Oops, we accidentally reactivated all of your accounts.
Business must be getting slow, trying to break up some couples and get
Like,
some people back.
You start sending some notifications. All of a sudden, we're back in business. That's just terrible. I've got a link to that story. So if you happen to have a loved one who really, truly did have an account open and they were trying to tell you and you weren't believing them, trust me, call them at mom's house and let them know they can come home. I'm just saying, that would be... I can only imagine if I came home and you're saying, "Hey, Stephanie wants to get together."
It would be
Tuesday.
ugly.
I'm like, who's Stephanie? Well, she responded to your Match.com ad. What? Heidi's over there reloading her gun. Would be bad.
Sit down, make yourself comfortable.
Yeah. You ain't leaving anywhere, mister. Call Stephanie. Tell her to come over. I'm like, I don't even know who Stephanie is. Again, I've got a link to the story. Match.com accidentally reactivated thousands of users' accounts without their knowledge. And so, again, if that happened to be you, I apologize on their behalf. Now, call your sweetie and let them know that you have proof. It's in our show notes blog. You can actually find the story. Over here, a study by Music Magpie found that 6 in 10 American children under the age of 6 own a smartphone. When I was 6, I didn't have a smartphone. I barely knew how to use a dumb phone. But nowadays, I understand, the technology. Kids know how to run these things better than we do. I remember when my nephews were probably 4 and 5, we would see them at family gatherings, and they had the whole time they're looking at iPads. They're playing games.
Oh, yeah. Even still.
But they know how to use those things, like maybe just for the games. I don't know. They are really good at the technology because of that. A Massachusetts judge is facing criminal charges after he was caught having a little extracurricular activities with a female clerk in his chambers.
Uh-oh.
That's not good. So, he's facing criminal charges for that. That's a bad deal. I've got a link to that story, too. And 2 links to this story, Heidi.
Why is that criminal? They're both consenting adults, right?
Yeah, but he's a judge and she was a clerk, and I think it was, he had a position of power, and I don't know. It's not what they were supposed to be doing at the time. So.
Well, of course it's not what they're supposed to be doing.
I'd like to see you in my
criminal?
chambers. You guys all wait out here. It's going to take 10 or 15 minutes. Maybe more. Massachusetts judge. Again, I've got a link to the story if you want to read all about it. I know nothing more than what I've already told you. Prince William and Duchess Kate have welcomed their 3rd child, a baby boy. I have 2 different links to this because I've had this sent to me like 6 times. So apparently people think of us as the Prince William and Duchess Kate show here these days. Huh. Have we ever mentioned them before?
No.
Maybe once. I don't know. And one other thing, the death of a Russian investigative reporter has raised alarms about a worrying pattern, tragic and often deadly incidents involving people who go public on sensitive issues in the country of Russia. So,
back to England, I have a question.
Okay.
Why is she Duchess Kate, but Princess Diana, she married into the family, and she was a princess, and Kate is just a duchess. Why is that?
You carry the 12, and you got the... And then
I don't understand how all that works.
On a Tuesday, but it was a full moon Tuesday. I mean, I have no idea how any of this works.
Some of our England fans, maybe you can explain that to me because it's confusing.
Well, there you go. Now we can all rest at night. I don't think that's going to help at all. All right, this is going to do it for your Scoop of the Day, courtesy of 49bydesign.com. Do you have ideas for t-shirt designs, but you don't have a clue how to print them? Or maybe you'd like to have t-shirts and coffee mugs available to buy online with your business logo printed on them. There's a website that makes it easy. We set ours up in about 10 minutes. There's no sign-up fee, no minimum orders, no monthly fees. It's just a really easy way to put some cool items online for sale, and you get paid every time somebody buys them. You don't have to print or ship anything. Just sign up, upload your designs, and then let people know where they can get your cool stuff. More details available at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Movie Star Monday continues. We have MiaMills joining us right now. Mia has been in a bunch of other movies, but she's got a really fun project coming out called Do Something Jake. Mia, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Now, this is a different kind of project, this Do Something Jake. I had a chance to watch the trailer, a little bit of the preview, and one of the things that I thought was really cool is this is done, if I understand correctly, with a budget of $0. Is that right?
You are correct, yeah. Literally no money at all. It was completely zero budget. It was done a lot through the community as well. We got to use their buildings, their props, their apartments, everything. It's basically a film that's come from nothing, essentially. essentially. So
now, and the thing that's neat about that is I don't know that anyone's ever really done it that way before, but if this works, if this goes well, this could maybe be a new way for people to do movies, couldn't it?
Definitely. I think it's one of those things, the indie film scene in general is kind of, it doesn't really get that much of a look in. I think people, when they watch a film, you associate big budgets with being a good film. This isn't a film with a big budget at all. Even when people talk about making films with low budgets can still be anything up to like £10,000. So, I mean, it's a lot of money that actually goes into low budget, but to make a film from nothing, it's a real selling point. I think it's something that people should definitely look into doing more, because you can do some really great stuff with, well, as I said, with nothing. So. Well,
and I watched the trailer, and I've got a link to that on our social media so others can as well. You would never guess in a million years that the budget was zero, because it looks just as good as any other trailer I've seen for an independent film, and it looks, I'd say, even better than some of the independent films I've seen out there.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. No, it's true, though. I think they did an amazing job with the filming, putting together the trailer. James and Caroline, who have kind of put it together, they've been involved from the beginning with absolutely everything. It's like their baby, their project. They've done a fantastic job with making it look so high quality, and really something that I think on the big screen is going to look amazing.
Now, the movie that's coming out is called Do Something Jake. It's in post-production now. When do we expect for this to actually be out?
Hopefully, fingers crossed, November, December time. I think it's penciled in for, I'm sure it's November is what they said, but I mean, I guess it's all kind of subject to change. You never really know, but hopefully this year, end of this year is what we're hoping for, definitely.
Now, let's talk about some of the other projects that you've had a chance to work on. What are some of the other movies that people may know you from, or people should know you from?
Well, it's a lot of short films that I've done, really, things that went to festivals and stuff. Nothing kind of massive at all. I'm still trying to get my name out and do as much as I can myself as an actress. But a lot of short films. I've done a lot of extra work, which I love doing. The Theory of Everything, the film about Stephen Hawking, and Black Mirror, which is obviously now on Netflix, which is doing well. So being involved in little projects like that, and just kind of anything that I can get involved in, really, short film, feature film, extra work. I'm just trying to do as much as I can right now and get involved in as much as I can, really. So
again, visiting right now with Mia Mills, and it's really fun because this movie, Do Something Jake, again, is coming out later this year. In this movie, you play a character named Alice. Let's talk about who Alice is in this movie.
So Alice is that character that you root for in the film. Caroline Spence, who put the screenplay together, she has this amazing ability to make characters completely relatable, even though they're in very extreme or unusual situations. Alice is unknowingly caught up in this complete mess, basically, that by default, because of her boyfriend being in this mess, he's kind of dragged her into it too. She's quite a sad character. She's quite a complicated character. She's trying to salvage this relationship that isn't working anymore. She's trying to fit pieces together that don't fit. And I think everyone can kind of relate to that idea, not maybe just with a relationship, but with, everyone has that person in their life that you were once so close to and you've now kind of grown apart from. And you either accept that they've grown apart and you're a different person and you move on with your life, or you try and grow with them and change with them. But she's still trying to make this relationship work, and that's her kind of conflict. That's what she's wrestling with through the whole film. So it's up to Jake, who is the kind of protagonist. He's trying to get her to see, really, with the actual what is going on, and that she kind of deserves more from her life, basically.
Well, I appreciate you taking some time to visit with us. The project Do Something Jake is going to be coming out later this year. Again, our guest today has been Mia Mills. Mia, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's been so fun talking to you. Thank you.
Again, Do Something Jake. I'm going to throw a link to the trailer so you can see what I've seen, and I'm excited. We're going to be visiting with some of the other folks that helped put this together as well. Again, it's a movie that looks amazing, but it was done with zero budget. Everybody that worked on this kind of pitched in and said, hey, let's do a movie that we want to do. Even if we don't have a budget, we're going to make this movie, and I think it turned out amazing. Again, it's called Do Something Jake. I've got a link to it at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
It's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough. Available now on Amazon or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The leg bones of a bat are so thin that the bat can that no bat out there can walk. So bats can't walk; they can just use their legs to like perch. You'll never see.
Oh, I didn't.
You'll never see a bat walking around.
I've never seen a bat walking around
because their bones and their legs are so thin.
Then why do they need legs?
Well, to land and perch and hang and stuff. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The katydid bug hears through holes in its hind legs. Katydid, if you want to.
I've never heard of that bug.
Katydid bug hears through holes in its hind legs. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Slugs have 4 noses. So I don't know what all those extra noses are for, but tough life being a slug, apparently. Unless, of course, you live somewhere where everything smells good.
Those bugs that hear through their hind legs is probably really loud when they go to the bathroom.
Could be.
It's loud enough when we go to the bathroom. It's on the other end of our body. Can you imagine if your ears were right there?
If you were a slug and you have 4 noses, that's no good either. And with all of that, we're moving on. This has been a couple of fun facts, courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
Time now for the grandiloquent word of the day, kibitz. I've heard this one before. Have you ever heard the word kibitz?
I have not heard of kibitz.
You haven't? I've heard the word kibitz. I think my dad is the one that said it.
I've heard kibbles and bits.
Well, no, this is something different. Kibitz. K-I-B-I-T-Z. It is a verb. There's 2 different meanings here. To look on and offer unwelcome advice, especially at a card game. So if you're telling somebody what to do and they're not asking for your advice, hey, you should play that. Like when you play Candy Crush and hey, you should move that purple one. And you're like, would you just back up?
I'm like, you don't even know what the purple one does.
I'm kibitzing you is what that is. And then it also is to speak informally or just to chat. So that's what my dad would use it as. He was saying, I was kibitzing with somebody. So I don't know where he learned it. But yeah, kibitz. K-I-B-I-T-Z, kibitz. That is your grandiloquent word of the day.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Time now for some weird news on this Monday. Police say that an Alabama man named Gary Bradley, who goes by the name Trip, took money from a church's collection plate and then deposited the funds into his account.
Oh.
Witnesses told police Bradley went before Mayfair Church of Christ and announced that he had been stealing from the offering plate. Officials say Bradley has helped with the collection during services. He's accused of taking thousands of dollars from the church and the members. Huntsville Police Lieutenant Johnson says the bank questioned the suspicious nature of the deposits into his account since the checks were made out to the church. Why
he took checks?
Why? I don't understand
why.
Wow,
that was stupid.
Police say Bradley had been making deposits since last fall. He was arrested and charged with theft of property. It's a bad idea, and I wonder what was going on in his life that he needed to do that. But no, whatever it was, you didn't do the right thing there, Mr. Bradley. If you are in trouble, go to the church for help, but not that way. I mean, you don't just take their money. That's a bad plan.
Well, what an idiot.
Yeah, I've got a link to the story.
I can't believe the bank accepted checks written to the church.
You wouldn't think so, but I don't know. I got a link to the story if you want to know all about it. It's in our show notes blog at johnandheidishow.com. Now, your moment of duh, courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com. A man is accused of streaking during an Ohio middle school girls lacrosse game and assaulting...
Middle school.
Yeah, and assaulting a trainer. He's blaming bad mushrooms for his behavior.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Prior to running on the field, 20-year-old Melvin Williams broke into a home across the street and damaged 4 paintings and antiques worth about $27,000. He reportedly ran onto the lacrosse field in his boxers. Onlookers said that he was noticeably bloodied up. Dash cam video of Williams' arrest showed him struggling with officers as they tried to place him into the car. He recently faced a judge on charges of assault and induced panic. That's when his attorney blamed bad mushrooms for the incident. The judge set a $50,000 bond in the case, which was posted that afternoon. That is a bizarre story. That is just weird. What? Bad mushrooms? So he was having like a salad and there was a mushroom on there? And like drug mushrooms.
If somebody broke into our house and damaged every piece of artwork in our home, we'd be out maybe $2.
Yeah, more like $12 or $13 maybe. $27,000 worth of damage in this one house with just 4 pieces. They must have much nicer stuff. I don't know what else. Like, kind of want to see what he broke now. Maybe there's a link to that in the story. I don't know. I've got a link in our show notes blog at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
It's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough. Available now on Amazon or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
Time now for fake news or Florida. Heidi's gotten really good at these lately. You got one wrong in the last week, I think. But I see if you get this one right.
I got a couple wrong.
Every day at this time, what I like to do is I ask Heidi a question, and she has to determine whether or not this is fake news, something I literally just made up, or if this is something that really, truly happened in the great state of Florida. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Fake news or Florida, Heidi? A woman was arrested after she made a bomb threat on an Etch-a-Sketch. Fake news or Florida?
Fake news.
All out of time. And the answer is fake news. You got it right. Congratulations, Heidi. You just won all the cash and prizes on the desk here.
Which is nothing.
You get your mouse back. That's what you... No. Fake news or Florida? There's no, you win nothing, and we probably lose everyone's respect a little bit every time we do it. But it is kind of fun, and I've had several people who've commented with very fun stories where they're sharing Florida stories now.
Although I will say that's not a bad idea, because if you're holding your ransom note or your note, and the cops come in,
just shake it.
You can shake it, and they'll be like,
so "What are they
talking
talking
about? They're talking about it was stairs. I'll show you.
Build them again." No. I've got a link to our fake news in Florida so you can read those past ones. And then if you come across some fun story from somebody in Florida that you want to think maybe we could stump Heidi with it, you could submit that as well. Thanks for listening. We got some good news to get to. That's on the way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Our good news comes your way courtesy of Odiva. Now, Odiva is a monthly subscription service just for the ladies. All the details at radiosavings.com. Now, this, I think, is really kind of a cool story. Have you ever been to a concert where there's like a fan that's like a big-time fan and the band brings them up on stage and gives them a chance?
Yeah. Yes.
I think that's really neat. And how cool is it for the fan that gets to do that? Well, the Foo Fighters see a Kiss guy with a sign in the audience, and they pull him on stage, and he nails it. And when I say Kiss guy, he's got like his face painted up, and have you seen this online already or no?
I didn't watch the video. I saw it. It showed up on my news feed.
Yeah, he was out there, and his sign says, "Let me play Monkey Wrench." So he has a sign that says that. Sold out show, Austin, Texas, holds up a sign, "Let me play Monkey Wrench." And they did. They said, "Hey, come on up here." Now, think about how many people now are going to start carrying signs to shows.
Right.
Like, hey, I should do that. And I can't even play an instrument. Let me play. I get up there. Get back out there. But it's just really cool. This guy had the chance to get up there. The video has now gotten over 13 million views, and people are absolutely loving this dude. And I think it's really cool. So he had a small nod of the head and pulled out a pick, his own pick from his pocket, and then boom, 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 goes into it, and just blew everybody's mind. And all the people in the band were loving on it. One of my favorite videos of this was Michael Bublé, and he brought up a little kid. Do you remember that?
It wasn't a little kid.
But
this guy was in high school.
No, the one that I'm thinking of, there was a kid. He was like 8 years old. They brought up, and the little kid knew all the words, and he sang a song with him. And Michael Bublé was just blown away. And I remember the one you're talking about, too, where it was a high school student. Because Michael does that a lot.
He was amazing.
And the kid was just as good as Michael Bublé. And think about
he
how
was
cool
amazing.
it would
He's
be.
like, I'm out of a job.
Yeah. How cool would it be for this guitar player that got pulled on stage if he got like a really cool, awesome gig because of this? I mean, 13 million views. All it takes is one of those views to be somebody that could give him a good gig. And I'll bet he's gonna. I bet there's something amazing that's gonna happen from it. I've got a link to the story, and if you happen to be somebody who can make this guy's career, that would be really cool if you connect with him, and if you could make our career as well. I mean, we already have the best gig ever. We love it. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. I've got a link to that story in our show notes blog at johnandheidishow.com.